Hi friends! Welcome to Kitchen Princess Bamboo Japanese Everyday Food. Today I'm gonna be making rice flour shokupan. Yes, it's a gluten-free version of shokupan that has been requested by many of you. I did my research online for a gluten-free recipe. Some of those are a little complicated, like making roux using sorghum or chrysanthemum gum, which I don't even know how to pronounce, to thicken up the dough to develop a structure. I think the recipe should be simple because the shokupan is supposed to eat on a daily basis. I did my experiment with rice flour and it came out so-so. It came out as I expected, nothing more, nothing less. But I found a rice flour which has been improved for bread baking. That rice flour makes perfect shokupan, looks just like shokupan made of wheat flour. The instruction is very simple. You don't even need to knead the dough. Let's get started. Today I prepared 2 rice flours. Let's have a close look at these. The right-hand side is a type of rice flour called Mizuho Chikara. It contains more amylose, which is a component of starch in rice, makes rice dry in texture, like long-grain rice, like jasmine rice. Can be milled so fine, which is suitable for baking. On the contrary, the normal rice flour contains less amylose, which makes chewy and moist texture. It's not easy to mill finely, so it doesn't make a good bread. That means finding a rice flour which made from long grain rice is the key to make a good rice flour bread. First, let's combine rice flour and sugar and salt. Whisk until evenly mixed. Add in yeast and mix to combine. Pour the water, slow and steady stream. It looks a lot of moisture, but it's okay. Add in vegetable oil. I am using canola oil. Whisk on medium. It's a 4 on my stand mixer for 5 minutes. As I said, rice flour doesn't contain any gluten. It doesn't create dough structure. Mix really well and holding as much as air to activate the yeast. It's crucial at this point. It is a batter rather than the bread dough, but it's totally fine. The consistency is like icing for the cake topping. Do not add any more rice flour if it looks very wet. It is what it is. Do the same to the other rice flour. Cover with a plastic wrap and let it rise for 30 minutes at 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. While waiting, line a parchment paper in the shokupan mold. Grease the inside and line the paper a little bit taller than the edges. After 30 minutes, the batter should rise like this. After 30 minutes, the batter should rise like this. Smells yeasty and it doesn't seem to be making a bread, but it is okay. Give it a stir and bring the fresh air in the batter. It's a punch as we always do to the bread dough. Leave another 30 minutes until the batter rises almost double in volume. Meanwhile, let's see what Alex is doing. He is so cute. After 30 minutes, the batter should look like this. We can't do the finger test to the batter, so we should judge to look at the volume. It seems to be good and smells just like the normal bread. Transfer to a prepared mold and leave it at warm spot for 45 to 50 minutes or until double in volume. Make a mark with the batter at the double in volume point. In that way, you can decide when to start baking. Preheat the oven to 100 degrees Celsius. As always, we are baking from the low temperature. We call it as cold start. For this kind of large volume bread, it's going to take longer to cook completely. And to make sure to cook really inside, we'd better start baking on low. When your batter rises up to the point where you marked, pop it into the oven with the lid on. The surface of the rice flour bread tends to dry and get crunchy quickly, and the batter contains more moisture in it, so we need longer time to cook. To cook thoroughly with the nice golden brown crust, we start cooking with the lid. Hopefully, my bread rises like mountain shape, so I put the other shokupan mold as a lid. You can put the lid or a piece of aluminum foil. Bake 25 minutes with the lid on, then take off the lid. Bake 20 more minutes. The other one has a dent on the surface, but it's still okay, I think. But I can't take out nicely. Be careful with your parchment paper. This is so dense and the texture is so moist. It doesn't taste like rice, but super moist bread. If you don't know what it is made of, you have no idea why it is so moist. But once you toast it, you know what it is made of. It tastes just like mochi. The one with the normal rice flour makes spongy texture, so I drizzle honey on it. I thought it might soak it up. It tastes so good. With this recipe, you can enjoy the same bread with your friend allergic to gluten. And the rice flour keeps you full longer, so it is healthy. Healthier than the wheat flour bread. I hope you learned something from this recipe, and please give it a try and let me know how you like it. Thank you for watching the video. Give me a big thumbs up and share the video with your friends and families. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Follow me on the social media and tag me on your post if you give it a try. And go to my website for the printable recipe and more information. And my store on Amazon has pretty much everything that I'm using in my video. Thanks again, and I will see you soon. Bye!